Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. As I continue to work through the ABRSM Grade 6 Music Theory Workbook, let's now take a look at Question 1b, Exercise 8. In Question 1b, we are required to compose a bass line in thematic unity with a given melody line, and we must also add figures to show our chord choices using the figured bass system. In this particular example, we are given the opening bars of a gigue for flute by the composer Loyer, and we are in the key of G major. In addition to maintaining thematic unity and observing cadence points, plus we must observe all of the rules of four-part harmony that our composition will imply, I also explained to you auxiliary notes and passing notes that occur within this composition, and I also identify the opportunity to compose a passing 6/4. The full lesson can be found on my Patreon channel. If you visit patreon.com/Sharon Bill, you can find the full lesson there, and you can find links to this lesson in the cards and in the description box below. After this short little video, you can see sample examples taken from this lesson, and it shows you how I explain everything you need to understand note by note, bar by bar, just as if I was sitting right next to you. Everything you need to understand this advanced level music theory can be found in my Harmony and Composition textbook. This book is available from Amazon, and again you can find links to this in the cards and in the description box below. Enjoy your studies! And the composer is Loyer. Here we have most likely the Loyer of London. He was a Flemish composer of the Baroque period who settled in London, hence the title Loyer of London. And we use that title to differentiate him from his cousin Loyer of Ghent. You can imagine, therefore, that there is much misattribution of works, which Loyer is which. So here we have Loyer, probably Jean-Baptiste Loyer of London, and we have a gigue. A gigue is a lively dance, and the French gigue is it is in compound duple meter, which is exactly what we have here. And just out of interest, while we're kind of looking ahead, we have a 3-2-1. We can have a cadential 6/4 here, and this is our note 1. And so here we have a note of anticipation, just kind of jumping ahead, kind of preempting this resolution here. So you may find it helpful. I've done an extra lesson on notes of anticipation and suspensions as well. So this anticipates the harmony note, so it's going to kind of clash with the harmony and then resolve here. Now ideally that F sharp is our leading note, which should rise to the tonic. It doesn't until here. It sort of resolves eventually, and so if that's good enough for Loyer, then I suspect we can also do the same. So they are our basic harmonies, but let's copy the bass line. And then ideally we want this to resolve to the tonic, leading note to tonic, as it does eventually here. It's just a little delayed, isn't it? So that's a crotchet, quaver, crotchet, quaver. So the composer's done quite a bit of work for us here. So if that's a G and a B, then yes, indeed, chord 1 will do that. So that's a root position chord 1. However, I think it's good to have chord 1 here to sort of re-establish the key. So that would be a G. So that's an octave to a fifth. So we just need to be careful here. So now, let's just get the basic harmonies, and then we'll decide what to do for the rhythm. So we'll just get to here, and then we'll deal with the cadence point. So we have here one chord which has to incorporate all of these notes. So this is a C, E, G, so it must be chord 4. Nothing else will include all of the notes C, E and G, and it must be in root position kind of intrinsically, because
if we double the E and have a chord 4B, then that's going to be doubling the third in a major chord, and that would happen twice, so that will not do. So if I stick to root position, that would be an A in the bass, and so it sort of like helps bridge that octave gap without making an unpleasant interval. We've got to think about the melodic flow of the bass line, not just the harmonies. So I'm going for the A in root position rather than the C of the first inversion. So that would give us 3 quaver beats like this, dotted crotchet, dotted crotchet. Now